just gone 10-9, and well, we're very honoured to be joined by commentator extraordinaire Ryan Evans joins us. And I said I was going to give Gordon the first question, but Ryan, have you ever? I know you started commentating this season. Is that something that you wanted to do, or is it something that's just kind of fallen and evolved because of the documentary last season?
Pretty much, yeah. Hi guys, yeah, pretty much. It's just something that, to be fair to the club, it's very innovative in the way we do things and forward thinking, proactive, and the Cymru Premier literally is miles and miles of travelling for a lot of the Bluebirds faithful who do travel well, to be fair, I must say, but large numbers are now coming to the Oggy Bridge Meadow who don't get to come to the away game. So it was something that we trialed it initially, and it's just snowballed, and I really enjoy it, to be honest. It's not something I've got a great amount of experience in, but yeah, and it adds when there's a bit of drama to discuss about on the pitch as well. So yeah, enjoying it so far this season.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, Ryan, we can have it all. I think that was a classic case on Sunday, yesterday, with that result. We can have it all. 2-1 up at half-time. You must have been thinking that they're going to come at us in the second half and give us a bombarding, but the Bluebirds stuck to their task. What were your thoughts on that?
Exactly that, really. I was in the vicinity of both the home and away dressing rooms at the break. Tony was very cool, calm and collected, stuck to the tactics, that he set out. Boys executed that really well, and it was a really young team as well. Obviously Jacob Owen made his first start for the team alongside Harry in midfield. I don't think any Cymru Premier team has ever started with such a young midfield. Watsy played in just behind them as well, but I think there was 8 first teamers missing. Again, that's tail of the season. So coming in 2-1, tails were up in the away dressing room. The home one, I must admit, it was rather vocal, and there was a lot of banging and crashing around in there because they'd been unbeaten for 30 games. They're hot on the tails of TNS at the top of the league, so they weren't used to losing. They're a great team, the Nomads. So we were expecting that bombarding to start the second half, and it did start in that way for a few minutes, but luckily for us, they just seemed to have a bit of an off day, and we thankfully came away with the 3 points.
I think Haverfordwest County are very lucky to have a manager in the form of Tony Pennock with all of his experience, professional experience. And I think it's coming through to the team. Obviously, you were pointing out there's been so many injuries, and a lot of the academy products are being given game time. And they've obviously done a splendid job, to be fair. Over the last few weeks, we've been picking up some regular points. I know we've got a few tough games coming up now. But can you see us getting into that top 6, that elusive top 6 that 3 weeks ago we were here saying there's not a hope in hell you're going to get there?
Yeah, it's been a tough, and everyone says it's this hangover from Europe. That Penabont as well, who's similar to us, they've had a tough spell. It's a tough league this year. There's no real whipping, boys. With due respect to previous seasons, there's been one team that everyone, 6-1, 6-0, 4-0. There's been teams like that. This season, there isn't. People are looking down the table. Colwyn Bay, Aberystwyth, they're both picking up points and winning games, and aren't being those whipping boys. So, yesterday was a massive 3 points. I think we're 5 points off 4th, but 5 points above the teams below us as well. It has put us in a better position. I think there's 6 games to go now before the split.
Yeah,
some derbies around the Christmas time. We got Barry at home on Boxing Day. Again, who picked up a great win on the road themselves yesterday.
Yeah,
Aberystwyth, it's not easy going up to Park Avenue. TNS is just round the corner. I mean, they're relentless in what they do as well. So it's not going to be easy, but it's a real momentum now. We've won 2 league games back to back, which hasn't been done certainly this season. It hasn't been done since phase 2 of last season. Kai Whitmore returning to the bench, Aidan McNamara returning to the bench. So hopefully now, it'll see us go on a good or a decent run where we do pick up points. I think there's 4 of the last 6 at home, which means, we get a lot of the Pembrokeshire support at the Oggy Bridge Meadow as well. So it's fingers crossed, like I said, an upward curve now.
But you've mentioned Europe there, Ryan. Obviously, that's the focus of the documentary. From a selfish point of view, when those ties unveiled the way they did, you must have been delighted. It was absolute gold content again, wasn't it? Yeah, the nature of both of them, the win and the defeat.
Definitely. I was on a year ago, I think, to this point, and I blame God why I did a second series.
And now you can thank me.
No, how are we going to top the first series? I mean, it had a relegation drama that we escaped. We almost had the playoffs that year. I genuinely was 50-50. Is this the right call? Am I going to get the drama to unfold? And obviously coming through the playoffs, and I've said in the playoffs was, it just was perfect for any sort of drama. And for me being there filming it, it just fell into place. But yeah, Europe, it's genuinely times I'll never, ever forget, from some of the off-field events that happened, occurrences that I did capture. Some probably not fit for record. Well, it just, the way it unfolded, and there was always going to come a point, and somebody said it's like Bambi, the documentary's got to end with a sad story almost. But going out, the way we did with that penalty, there was never ever a penalty. It's just a cruel one, but it kind of left almost like the good guys going out. Obviously, with
it was a good range of emotions, and didn't you? You had the euphoria of the previous time, and despair. Yeah. That's what people want to see. They want to see real things and raw emotion.
Definitely, and the changing rooms after both the wins and the losses, it was so raw. The feelings were just. It just put it all into context. It's been documented. Watsy was on a roof fixing a roof in Temby 2 days before in Europe. It's literally almost grassroots, Roy of the Rovers sorts of stuff. Skendia, the Macedonians, who the current episode is covering, €5.6 million budget. To put that into context, it's a million miles apart from where we are, with due respect, so it's genuinely was a phenomenal achievement looking back now. And obviously England are playing in the same stadium that we did on tonight, so it was mad seeing that. The pitch is still as bad as it was when we were there, right?
They're losing too.
Yeah,
they
are.
How difficult is it, mate, when you must have had so much golden content when you go through the playoffs, and like you can mention the European runs, to actually cut down? There's been some moments where it's gut-wrenching to cut out as well.
Yeah, I got about 4 or 5 external hard drives next to me that's just full of content. And again, there's some not to be seen. I
was going to say, there's probably an X-rated version that we've never seen, Ryan. That's the one I want to see at Christmas time. I'll come round to your place.
There's just so much. These current episodes that are out, they're almost an hour. The last one will be more than an hour. They're certainly the best footage. We wanted to use that and put that out there, and it's hours and hours of footage captured. Some of it, as soon as I filmed it, I know that's not going to make the cut, but some of the things we have on what I was pleased with, we could go even closer than ever, because 99.9% sure we're never going to play those teams again. So I was able to show more of the team talks, because they're not relevant to your other Cymru Premier clubs, and it wasn't sort of giving our golden eggs away.
Yeah.
And the thing is, right, and you're in amongst it when these things have been happening as well. I think in a way the boys probably forget you're there, if you know what I mean, when you're filming, because obviously you've got footage of all sorts going on, and they're not actually thinking we're being filmed. They're being natural.
Yeah, again, I go back to the very first time I filmed. I think they were aware of it the first time I was in there, but that's why I make a conscious effort to be in the same tracksuit and to be in the same almost camouflage within the ranks. Then
it's remarkable. And if people want to find these episodes, where can they go? When's the next one released?
It's so the first episode of this current and final series of it is on the club's YouTube channel. So a quick search on YouTube, Haverfordwest County, or You Can Have It All. It is quite high up the rankings now. And there's 2 to come. The episodes premiere every Thursday now, this coming week and the following week, which this week's obviously covers the success at Cardiff, and then the final one is the entire Faroe Islands shenanigans, shall we say.
Of course, yeah. Well, looking forward to getting into that, and of course introducing new players from those signings as well that happened in that pre-season. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. We have run out of time, sadly, even though I could definitely talk more detail about what's on those hard drives. Ryan, thank you so much. Fraser, Gordon, thank you so much for your time as ever on a Monday evening. Up next, it's the 2-hour takeover with Danny, Steve, and Dan. So don't go anywhere. Keep it here with Pure West Radio. It's been the Pure Sports Show with Eaton-Evans and Morris Solicitors.